YouTube, Shikun Shinobi here with a review of the Russia Sentai ToQger Russia Gatai series, ToQ Russia EX Den-O Russia, because they're both trains, so this had to exist, right? Right. Not right. Momotaros. Or Ryotaro. But anyway. So they are both train series, and Toei and Bandai thought it would be cool to combine the two and let's make them do stuff together. And so these are the Den-O Russia. They appear in the Kamen Rider Taisen movie. The ToQgers show up along with the Kyoryugers, and we get this monstrosity up here. And the rest is history. It's really absurd, and I don't particularly like the concept. But we will get into that, and that's actually no business here or there. So without further ado, this was released in May 2014 for 1,500 yen, about the normal standard Russia price, so nothing too extravagant there. So without further ado, let's take a look at these little train buddies. I will start by saying I'm not a huge fan of the whole Rider into Sentai sort of thing, but it's Toei's thing, so what are you going to do? However, being the Denliner and being trains, they're absolutely perfect for this line. These are both basically the same exact train. However, this one, the front, has the pegs on this side, or rather the slots on that side, and this one has the slots on the opposite side. This is because even with the Den-O Russias, you can still use Cho, ToQo, and stuff like that. So that's actually a really cool little addition there, and I will show that off both in pictures and on video. So pretty cool. They both have the same sort of rail system, so no matter which Den-O Russia you use, you will get the same sounds. So for consistency's sake, we'll just use the front one and let the back one go. Being the same mold for the most part, they do just connect right on top of each other. There's no flip out ports or anything. And there you go. Simple as that. And of course, for transformation, they both fold up into a foot for ToQo. So our first secondary Russia that act as replacements for blue and green instead of yellow and pink. So without further ado, let's go ahead and do this. So the same generic sort of transformation sounds from the other Sentai Russia. And of course we can Norikai change. That's just a weird transformation. And like I said, the other one does the same exact sounds in this thing. Now, of course, these are just standard Russia. They plug right into the Russia ports that we all know and love, so you can actually use these as hands if you wanted to for whatever reason, but their primary function is to replace the green and blue Russias as feet for ToQo. So I went ahead and already formed ToQo Kyoryujin because that's what we need for this formation to make ToQo Kyoryujin featuring Denliner. It's a mouthful. So just take your ToQo, pop off the blue and green Russias. This one with the ports on this side will fold up, plug in right there. Meanwhile, the other one will fold up and plug in right there to make new feet. Yay, slippers! Now, unfortunately, that's all it is. It's not that thrilling. There's no weapons, nothing flashy like police or fire. It is just new slippers. Now, in the movie, they do wield Kyoryujin's sword as a weapon for whatever reason, because Kyoryujin is part of this thing. And if you do own Kyoryujin, you can take the sword and plug it into the fist. Now, given the fist is a square port and this is a round handle, it does take a little bit of effort to get that plug in, but it's a pretty secure fit once you have it in. Unfortunately, this does make him quite a bit front heavy. He wants to fall forward really bad. If you can get him just right, he does wiggle a little bit, but he will hold it just fine. So that is kind of cool. It adds a little bit of flair to him. The formation is still really strange. I mean, we have Kyoryuger plus ToQger plus Kamen Rider Den-O. It's just more or less some sort of weird crossover mess that actually sort of terrifies me. But the formation's kind of neat regardless, even if the only thing it adds is Denliner slippers. Now, as I said before, you can actually make Cho ToQger Kyoryugen featuring Denliner, as if it needed to get longer. But it is kind of interesting to do regardless. So, of course, pop off the pink and yellow Reshas. Of course, like I said, those ports on the legs are still present. So the car carrier and tank Reshas can plug right in exactly as they would on the blue and green Resha. So that's kind of cool. And then, of course, everything else is the same up here. Just plug those in where they go. Plug the yellow Resha back in. Plug the pink Resha right there. And we aren't going to mess around with the head because we, of course, want to retain Kyoryugen's head. But now we have Cho ToQger Kyoryugen featuring Denliner. Because we needed to do this. It does add stability to the formation, so it's holding the sword no problem whatsoever. And I actually like this more than the normal form. It adds just a tinge bit of flair to the Cho ToQger formation, and it's kind of neat in its own really messed up, weird, sort of mutant kind of way. So overall, while I kind of dig the formation, I just can't particularly recommend this release. If you're a huge fan of Kamen Rider Den-O, then you might want to pick this up for your Den-O collection, because after all, it is the Denliner. But if you don't watch Kamen Rider or anything like that, and you're just strictly a Sentai collector, this really isn't a worthwhile release, because it's mostly just a Den-O item. However, if you must have everything that's been in any sort of fiction, then it's kind of a necessary purchase because it was used in the Kamen Rider Taisen film. But given how that's a Kamen Rider movie, not a Super Sentai movie, it's a very gray area in terms of completionist attitudes. So I can't really even begin to talk about that. So really, it's a your mileage may vary sort of recommendation. If you like it, it's definitely worth it. It's nice to have alternative leg support Resha, since all we've gotten really is just different arms. Even the ones that can turn into legs are arms in the actual singular formations. So it's good to have some alternate legs to kind of switch out with blue and green Reshas to add a little bit of differentiation between your combinations. But yeah, at the end of the day, it's not completely worth it. And being a Kamen Rider thing and a Super Sentai thing, it just doesn't really gel with me. But if it's your kind of thing, then I don't really see anything wrong with it. At the end of the day, it's new Reshas and they're still fun. So thanks for watching, take care, and have a great one. Bye.